Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Allie here from the Journey Junkie, coming to you from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico at Shinalani Retreat Center. Today's yoga class is a New Year's Vinyasa practice to celebrate yourself and reflect on your past achievements. Do know that there is a worksheet that is attached to this class. It's free, it's super impactful and effective and really beautiful. If you want that worksheet and you want to celebrate yourself and reflect on your past achievements from last year and the last decade, since this class is airing at the beginning of 2020, you can click the link in the description below and get that free worksheet. I recommend doing it right after this practice or within a week's time of doing this practice. Now for this class, I am only recommending one block. However, have any other props that you need to support you. Yeah? So you can do you. With that said, please unroll your mat and let's start this New Year's Vinyasa practice together. All right, to begin our practice, we'll start in a kneeling position, so knees together. I have a block underneath me between my ankles for extra support. You don't need to do that. I just like to do that, and it's a suggestion if you have any knee discomfort. So sit back on your sitting bones. Feel yourself root down into the earth plane or your block. Rest your hands atop your thighs and close your eyes, please. And I want you to set an intention for your practice. And I also want you to set an intention around celebrating yourself and reflecting on your past achievements. So often we finish a year and we focus on what we didn't achieve, what we didn't reach, the misses or the losses. And I want us to reframe that patterning and really focus on everything we did achieve, the wins, the achievements, and acknowledge ourselves, really acknowledge ourselves and the work that we've put into our lives, the work that we've put into our journeys. So take a moment here and take 5 deep breaths with yourself and then set an intention for your practice. Awesome. Open your eyes. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs, moving into cat-cow in a kneeling posture. Keep your chin level, but inhale, bring your heart forward, spread through your collarbone, arch through your lumbar spine. Exhale to round your lumbar spine, let your chest sink backwards, and keep moving like that, sinking your breath though. So inhale forward, exhale back. Keep moving like that, using this as a lubricant for the spine, a lubricant for the pelvis, undulating back and forth, bringing awareness to the pelvis, to the spine, how much it can move, right? Also amplifying our breath, bringing it onto the mat and into our practice to help anchor us here in the present moment. A little bit longer. Chin staying level, really keeping the action in the lumbar spine. Of course, it's going to move up into the thoracic spine, a little bit into the cervical spine, but really keeping the movement in the lumbar spine. About 10 more breaths. And pause in the center. Come back to your intention for a moment. Awesome. Open your eyes. If you're on that block, please set it off to the side. We're coming into toe crunch pose. So knees stay together and we curl the toes under, and I like to bring my pinky toe out to the side. It likes to get stuck. My husband always says I have the littlest, weirdest, chunkiest pinky toes, so they get stuck. All right, so sit your hips back over your heels, stretching the back sides of the feet. Inhale the arms out wide. Exhale, eagle arms, right arm wraps underneath left. Come into a half bind here if this is enough for you, or take the full bind palm to palm, bringing the elbows in alignment with the height of the shoulders. And if you want even more of a stretch, bring the hands away from the face. However, we've just started our practice, so no need to overdo it. Let's take 3 breaths here. And release, open the arms wide. Big breath, exhale. This time, left arm underneath right. Again, half bind or full bind. You choose. 3 breaths here. Inhale the arms wide. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, untuck the toes, pitter-patter the feet. Oh yeah, that part always feels so good. Coming into, I don't even know what to call these, but I love them. Just follow my cues. Bring the knees hip-width distance. On an inhale, lift up onto your knees. The hands follow with you. The fingertips reach towards the sky. Exhale, bow down into child's pose. Forehead meets the earth as the hands reach up towards the sky. They reach back. Move again like this with me. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more. Awesome. Inhale, come back up, lift the chest, coming into downward facing dog. So plant the hands in front of you, spread the fingertips wide, really root down through the pointer and the thumb and the heel of the hand, curl the toes under and extend the hips back and high. First down dog, make it your own. Firm the forearms, lift them away from the ground as you externally rotate the upper shoulders, the upper arms. Lengthen all the way back through the spine to the tail. I like to be on the balls of my feet and bend my knees, especially for the first down dog. You can bicycle the legs here and really get into the calves. You can take the feet as wide as the mat, especially if your hamstrings are really tight, but keep pushing the earth away. Firming the arms, lengthening back through the spine. And now listen carefully. I'm going to show the modified version of this first. You can drop to your knees. We'll come into plank. We'll do a shoulder tap, a shoulder tap. The modified version would come back to child's pose and move back and forth between plank with the knees down, doing shoulder taps and taking it back to child's pose. The full variation will be come forward to plank, shoulder tap, back to downward facing dog. We'll go 5 times together. Really use your breath to move you here, okay? So let's all start in downward facing dog. Here we go. Inhale forward, plank, or you can drop your knees down and then you'll go back to child's pose. Shoulder tap, left hand to right shoulder, right hand, left shoulder, take it back, downward facing dog. That's 1. We've got 4 more. Inhale forward, right hand, left shoulder, left hand, right, back to downward facing dog or child's. Come forward, plank, inhale. Tap your shoulder. You want to try and move as little as possible when you tap, so really firm your core during that transition. Back to downward facing dog. And again, come forward plank. Tap, tap, whew. Back to down dog. Come forward plank. And tap, downward facing dog. Let's do one more, I lost count. Come forward plank. And tap, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Maybe you're in child's pose, no worries. Take 3 breaths wherever you are. Come back to your intention for your practice. Remember, the intention is revolving around your ability to celebrate yourself and recognize your achievements from the past year. Awesome. Everyone come to plank pose with me. We're going to drop down to forearm plank together. You can always come to your knees here, and let's take 5 breaths. Forearm plank, we're really pushing the earth away and rounding through the upper back. We're knitting the navel back to the spine, firming the legs, pushing out through the heels. 4 more breaths. Last big inhale. Exhale, soften the knees, the thighs, the hips, the belly. Beautiful. Meet me in Sphinx Pose. Again, push the ground away. Lift and lengthen up through the front side of the body. And we're going to come into cat-cows here. So this is your inhale position. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, rounding ever so slightly. It's not a huge round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Couple more. Last one. Come back to Sphinx Pose, lower down, slide the hands by the low ribs, push back child's pose, wide knee child's pose variation. And we're gonna come from child's pose into hanging cobras. Take a moment here, relax in child's pose, return to your intention, maybe focus on something from the prior year that you want to acknowledge, something that you achieved, however small or big. Bring your awareness to that and celebrate yourself here in child's pose. Awesome. Listen to my cues carefully and follow me. Inhale to lift up and come forward. Put all the weight into your hands and onto your knees as your pelvis sinks, but you keep your core super active and you really push the earth away. Then gaze over to your left and over to your right. Come back through to center. Take it back, lift up, and sink back into child's pose. We'll go 2 more times. Inhale, come forward. Keep the firm core as the pelvis drops. Push the earth away. Twist right, twist left. Come back to center and take it back, child's pose. Last one. Inhale up. Let the pelvis sink. Keep the core firm and twist left and twist right. Come back through to center and take it back, child's pose. I absolutely love that movement. From child's pose, come into downward facing dog just as a transition. So 1 breath here. Inhale to gaze forward, walk your way to the top of the mat. lift up halfway when you arrive. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up, push down through your feet to lift up nice and high. And with the hands extended overhead, let's come into a side stretch here. So clasp the left hand around the right wrist. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge to the left. Keep rooting down through all four corners of the feet here. Core is lightly engaged. And inhale, rise up, switch the grip, lift up again, nice and tall. Exhale to the right. Again, root down through all four corners of the feet. I notice my big toes tend to lift here. Come back up through center one more time. Inhale, lengthen. You're clasping left hand around right wrist. Take it over to the left. Come on up, switch the grip, lengthen on an inhale. Exhale to the right. Come on up, lengthen, and bring the hands down through heart center. We'll go through 3 sun salutation A's now together. So hands at heart, inhale to sweep the arms high. Gaze up at your fingertips, exhale, fold through the midline. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to the floor or the shins. Make this a strong transition. Exhale, step back plank pose. You can lower knees, chest, chin, or all the way to the belly. We're coming into cobra first. Hands by the low ribs, uncurl the toes, magnetize the elbows back. On an inhale, lift up cobra pose. Cobra pose, we're pulling the body through the gate of the arms. Exhale, lower down. As you do, you curl the toes under and push back, downward facing dog. Awesome. Take 2 breaths here. On an inhale, gaze forward. Make your way to the top of the mat, however you choose to. Once you arrive, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, fold through the midline, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Make this transition count. Exhale, step back to plank. Maybe you chaturanga to up dog, you knees, chest, chin, or you lower to the belly with me. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. On that transition from cobra to down dog, really firm the belly. Super important there. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Halfway lift. Lengthen from crown to tail. Step back. Again, you can choose chaturanga to up dog or come all the way down for cobra with me. Inhaling for cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high. Exhale, sweep it through warrior 1. So the back foot comes to 45 degrees. We're on railroad tracks here, so nice distance between both feet. Really firm your legs and inhale to come up. 3 breaths, warrior 1. And windmill open, warrior 2. Heel to arch, knee tractioning towards the pinky edge toe. Legs are firm. Chest is broad. Fingertips are reaching. 3 breaths here. Flip the front palm, keep the knee where it is, reverse your warrior. Remember, this is not a back bend, this is a side bend. So we really want to feel this lengthening happening on the right side here. Another inhale. Exhale, side angle pose, right forearm. Rest just ever so gently on top of the right thigh as the left arm reaches forward, or maybe you wrap it around for a half bind here. You choose. 3 breaths. The right hip is going back in space. The legs are firm. The core is active. This left armpit is rotating up towards the sky. Final breath. And push into the front leg, come back, reverse your warrior for 1 breath. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the ground. Take your time for that transition. Vinyasa or downward facing dog, you choose. Here we go, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, sweep it through. Plant that back foot, 45-degree angle. Firm the foundation. Inhale, lift up. Take your core with you as you lift up. 3 breaths, Virabhadrasana 1. Opening up, warrior 2. 3 breaths here. Flipping that front palm and keeping this leg where it is because it tends to come back as we reach back. So keeping the knee where it is and coming into a reverse warrior. Breathing all down the left side of the body here. Inhale. Exhale, side angle pose, left forearm, top of left thigh, right arm reaches, or you can come around for this half bind. You choose. 3 breaths. The left hip is going back in space as you're opening the right side of the chest towards the sky. And 1 inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, sweep the hands down to the ground. Take your time for the transition. You choose Vinyasa with an up dog, with a cobra, or straight to down dog. Awesome work. Let's do all of that one more time. Here we go, right leg high. Exhale, sweep it through. Plant that back foot, rise up, warrior 1. Strong posture. Strong focus. Open yourself up, warrior 2. Three breaths. Flip that front palm, reverse it. Last inhale. Exhale, side angle. If you want to go for a full bind, you can here. You can take traditional like me, but whatever you do, the left side of the chest needs to be rotating open towards the ceiling. If you're coming into a bind and you're collapsing, please retrace your steps. Final breath here. Inhale, back, reverse. Exhale, down. Vinyasa or downward facing dog, you choose. Last side, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, sweep it through. Plant the foot, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Virabhadrasana 1, apologies. 3 breaths here. Open up, warrior 2. That front knee is tractioning towards the pinky edge toe. Legs are firm. You're expanding through the chest and fingertips. 3 breaths. Flip the front palm, reverse it, take it back. Gazing back at your achievements, celebrating yourself, acknowledging yourself. Coming into side angle pose, again, choosing if you want to bind or not. 3 breaths. Opening the right armpit towards the sky as the leg stays super firm. Reversing for 1 breath. Exhaling down to the mat. Last option for you, Vinyasa. You choose if you want it. All right, from downward facing dog, we got a little bit more power to go. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. So drive your weight into your heels as you drop your hips and lift your chest high. Weights in the heels. Energetically send the shins back in space. Reach up through your hands, firm the core. Breathe for 5. And inhale, stand all the way up. Take your feet hip width distance, hands to your hips, close your eyes, and come back to your intention. And feel this sense of purpose and strength and resiliency pulsating and circulating throughout your body. Feel this sense of allowance and permission to celebrate yourself and acknowledge yourself. Focus on the achievements that you've already created and cultivated, which is only going to energize what happens in the next year. Awesome. Open your eyes. Let's start to shimmy our way down. Let's take the feet out, point the toes out, the heels in, and shimmy your way down. Or you could just squat down. I really like the shimmy method into Malasana Yogi Squat. Nice. Bring the elbows to the inside. Push into your palms. Lift up. Okay, so option to stay here, and you can place a block underneath your bum. We're all going to come back to this option though, but if you're just ready for it, stay right here in a nice supported Malasana Yogi Squat. Otherwise, I am offering you crow pose. So you can come from Malasana Yogi Squat and plant your hands and bring your knees to the backs of your arms and play with crow pose for about 30 seconds. Otherwise, you're hanging out in Yogi Squat, yeah? Okay, so choose your journey here. If you're in crow, can you lift your heels towards your glutes? A few more breaths, and then I recommend everyone meeting in Malasana Yogi Squat with a block underneath your bum, taking the hands inside the thighs and sending them out for a nice inner thigh stretch, and lifting the chest and lengthening. Coming back to your core, back to your midline, back to your intention. Using your breath to anchor yourself in the moment. Last breath here. Awesome. Remove the block, hold on to it if you've got one. We're gonna come into high and low boat. So you can just hold the block here. Come into your half boat here, holding the block. Inhale. Exhale, lower, low boat. Hold the block out. Come back up. Lower down. Lift up. And lower. Keep moving. 5 more. Whew. 3 more. Last one. Stay lifted, stay lifted, stay lifted, and put the block down. Come all the way onto your back. We've got one good bridge pose here. You can choose if you want wheel and you practice wheel regularly, go for it. You're nice and warm. Otherwise, bend the knees, plant the feet, hip width distance, knees in line with the hips, palms down by your side. Firm the core, firm the ribs down. On an inhale, lift up and just hold here at the halfway mark. Hold, hold, hold. See if you can bring your mind into your butt. Get your butt to turn on for you. Push down through your heels and the big mound of your toe. And if you want a little bit more, you can start to lift the hips higher as you push into the feet. Bind the hands beneath you, walk the shoulders underneath, and push into your hands as well. Lift the hips higher. 3 more breaths wherever you are. And everyone slowly release vertebra by vertebra. If you're in wheel pose, you're making your way down. Nice. Coming into half happy baby. So extend the right leg long and bring the left leg into half happy baby. You can bring the hand around the knife edge, peace fingers around the big toe, or hand to the front of the shin. You choose what works best for you. Nice. Take 3 breaths here. Awesome. Use this right hand and bring it to the left leg and guide it across for a supine twist. And the left arm can come out. The left knee does not need to reach the ground. 3 breaths here. Come back through to center. Nice. Bend the right knee this time. Extend the left leg along. Come into happy baby on this side. Choosing your grip. And bringing the left hand to the right leg and letting that hand guide the right knee across the body. The right knee comes down towards the left side as the right hand comes straight out from the shoulder socket. You should feel this really beautiful stretch from the right fingertips all the way through the arm, the armpit, the pec, down the side body and across to the right hip. Breathe into that. Beautiful. Come back through to center. Let's end in a moment of Shavasana. If you've got more time, you can take a longer Shavasana. Extend the legs long, let the feet splay out, let the legs completely stop efforting. You can wag your feet a few times. Internally and externally rotate the legs to get them to soften. Wiggle your pelvis around. Let that area of your body soften. Let the belly stop breathing actively. It can release its job. It can soften. Palms out by your sides, facing up towards the sky. Letting the entire chest region soften. The arms soften, the fingertips ever so slightly curl back towards the hands, lengthening through the back of the neck. Now let the jaw soften, the tongue, the space around your ears. Let your eyelids become heavy and your eyes soften towards the back of your skull, your forehead, the entire hairline. Let all of that soften. Allow your skull to soften. And take one final breath as we rest in Shavasana here. Take rest. Rest in your accomplishments and your achievements from the prior year. Option to stay here, continue resting, reflecting and celebrating yourself. Or if you're ready to seal your practice, take a big breath from your toes all the way to your crown. And let that out the mouth. Begin to wiggle your fingertips and toes, ankles and wrists. When you're ready, extend your legs long and bring your arms overhead. Bend your knees and come onto your favorite side for Fetal Pose. Thank yourself for coming to the mat, for doing this practice, for starting your new year off with this type of practice. And now push into your hand, lift up to a seat, Keeping the eyes gently closed through that transition. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll close with an Om. Sweep the hands out to the side, gather up this reflective celebratory energy, palms overhead, bring the hands down through heart center. Take a big inhale for Om. Open your eyes. Happy New Year, number one. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel so empowered to take a moment to celebrate yourself and reflect upon your achievements. Remember, I've crafted a worksheet for you to help you do this off your mat, to put pen to paper and to really look back at your life over the last year and the last decade, so you can take a step back and see yourself in the light that I hope you do, right? Because I know for myself, it's easy to dispel all of the stuff that has been achieved and always focus on forward momentum. And when I did this in my own practice, in my own journal, it was very empowering to see all of the stuff that I and my husband and our team as a business has accomplished this year and in the past decade. So it's a very, very empowering practice. Click the link in the description below to get that worksheet. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an amazing 2020, and there's a lot coming your way from myself and the JJ community, so stay tuned. I'll meet you back here on the mat to live our journey. I need water, Charlie.
Charlie, why am I Charlie?
You said Charlie earlier, now I'm just calling you that.
Just do your damn yoga class and let me worry about the cameras.
Want me to throw this back?
Yeah.
No.
Journey, journey,
Journey, journey, journey, journey. Live your journey, live your journey, live your journey, live your 2020, live your 2020. Chakras, 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 chakras.